about command words, as one of you said in here. So yes, let's do it together. We are going to see and talk about the different titles on our forum of Oxford, and how Oxford actually plays out with different titles and gives out the teaching strategies to the teachers. But we aren't going to just see out the teaching strategies. We aren't just going to focus out on 3 teaching strategies, but we are really, thank you very much. We are really going to also see about how the teaching strategies are integrated and how they are linked with the Bloom's taxonomy that are the core, that is actually the core, the core ingredient of each and every book of Oxford. So whichever book of Oxford that you're using in your school, Bloom's taxonomy becomes a core ingredient, the salt, the taste of that entire thing is something that you get from this strategy. So let me just ask you people one thing. In fact, I'll be asking you multiple things. But let's start from that one thing. What do you think is Bloom's taxonomy? Since we are going to talk about this thing, we are going to talk about what is Bloom's taxonomy. Venus says it's creating new things. Please tell the activities for seniors in higher class and how to apply it in class. So Nida, I'm going to tell it, don't worry about it. The born teachers use it unconsciously. So Aslam, thank you very much for that critical answer. It's crucial. Understanding, Neelam, exactly, understanding. Hasiba says it's bingo. So yes. So it's okay. So Binish, can you tell me what is Bloom's taxonomy? What is Bloom's taxonomy? Okay, Shirza says it's higher and lower order thinking skills. Sylvia says it's learning strategies. ठीक है. I can accept that answer. Okay, Nida, you absolutely, you are absolutely on the same page. We both are, because I too love bingo. So Asma says, okay, Asma, what do you think is Bloom's taxonomy? If you know the answer, just type a bingo, and I'm going to name your name. I'm going to call out your name to have the answer. Asma says it's critical thinking. Okay, it's cognitive process of learning. Whoa, super, you got the answer. So here, Ramsha, Nida, and everybody on my chat box, everybody of you. Suleiman says it's the way of learning. So absolutely, Zabardast, excellent. Fatma says it's okay. Fatma, would you like to answer out what's Bloom's taxonomy? So Humera says it's the stage process of knowledge and understanding. Absolutely correct. But here, many of us, we know about what is Bloom's taxonomy, because as a teacher, it's one of our core steps. It's one of our first stairs, pehle seedhi hai, to step onto the teaching career. And it's very important to know about Bloom's taxonomy if you want to become a teacher. So, of course, I am absolutely in the know. I'm absolutely familiar with how many of you would be actually knowing about Bloom's taxonomy. Absolutely, I know that. Lekin yahan par, we are going to use Bloom's taxonomy in a very tricky manner, and we are going to see that how Bloom's taxonomy really works. So what you people are now going to do is, I am going to ask you 3 questions. Listen to me very carefully, everybody. I'm going to ask you 3 questions. If you know the answer to my question, you have to comment bingo in the chat box. I would name you out. I would call your name to know the answer myself. If you do not comment bingo and directly you are giving the answer, अगर आप directly मुझे answer provide कर रहे हैं, you are not commenting bingo, then you are not the winner of the game. So to be the winner of this game, which is quiz bingo, you need to be very vigilant about what the instructions are. The instructions are that if I'm going to ask you 3 questions, I am going to ask you 3 questions. If you know the answer to my question, you have to comment bingo and not the answer. आपने answer नहीं लिखना. You just have to write down bingo in the chat box if you know the answer. So my first question to everybody here is, who is the founder of Pakistan? My first question is, who is the founder of Pakistan? Samreen. Samreen, what is the answer? Anisa, what is the answer? Zair Rahman, what is the answer? जिनके नाम मैं बुला रही हूँ, they have to tell me the answer. Munassa, what is the answer? जिनका नाम मैंने बुलाया है, only they have to give me the right answer. So give me the answer to who is the founder of Pakistan. Sania, answer. Okay, Nadia, answer. Arusa, answer. Let me get the answers now. Okay, Zabardast. My second question is, what is the national game of Pakistan? What is the national game of Pakistan? My second question is, what is the national game of Pakistan? If you know the answer, write down bingo only. So, I'd like to have the answer from Tehmeena. Oh, you wrote the answer. So if you have written the answer, you aren't the winner of the game. You just need to write the answer. You just need to write bingo, can't write the answer. अगर आपने आंसर लिख दिया, you can't be the winner of the game. If you know the answer, write down bingo in the chat box. You cannot write down the answer. Okay, so I'd like to know from Fiza. Fiza, what is the national game of Pakistan? Since you wrote down bingo in the chat box, I saw your bingo. What is the national game? So yes, Fiza. Okay, I'd like to know from Mehreen, from Fatima Ifftikhar as well. What is the national game? And my last, so you gave the right answer, hockey. So the third and last question from everybody on the forum is, what? Okay, let me just think of the question. What is the capital of Pakistan? What is the capital of Pakistan? So yeah. Oops. Okay, I'd like to ask. Okay, I'd like to ask.
उसे पता है ना कौन बैठे हुए हैं?
Yeah. Humaira. Yeah. What do you know about 21वीं सदी की teaching? What do you know about 21st century teaching? Urusa says communication. Arusa says KWL charts. Bilqis says teacher-centered classroom. Is it a 21st century rule? So Neelam says, okay, ICT, yes, absolutely. And digital, yes. Creative, media literacy. Collaboration, use of AI, Zabardast. Bingo! 6 C's, excellent. Then we have creativity, we have social media, we have student-centered classroom. Yes, exactly. Student-centered classroom, activity-based learning, collaboration, pedagogical skills, use of AI, artificial intelligence, skill communication, leadership. Whoa! Bingo! So you people are smart teachers. I see that. You people are smarter. Now, girls and boys, whosoever is on this chat today with me, do you know what? I have something for you. मेरे पास आप लोगों के लिए कुछ है. Do you all want to travel to your childhood with me? Do you all want to travel to your childhood with me? क्या आप सब अपने बचपन में travel करना चाहते हैं with your today's trainer? I want to. So I want to take you all. Thank you very much. Chalte. Let's just have our petrol ready, car ready, and let's sit in the time machine if it works with the petrol. So who's going to purchase the petrol for the time machine? Nobody. Okay, so here I am going to paste a link in the chat box for everybody here. आप सबके लिए मैं एक link paste कर रही हूँ in the chat box. I'm pasting out a link in the chat box. What you people are going to do is, you have to click that link. This link belongs to एक Padlet की activity है that we are going to do together today. So हमने करना ये है that as soon as you press the link, I am already on my Padlet. आपने क्या करना है मेरे साथ? You have to go down your memory lane and you have to read out a story with me. And this story, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be an interesting version of what you see on the screen. How many of you remember this story, everybody? How many of you remember this story? How many of you remember this story? Do you all remember the story that I've shared on the screen for you? For Goldilocks? The ones who haven't, they are going to get the flavor. They are going to get the flavor of what the story is all about. Okay, so I am going to, in fact, I have shared out a link in the chat box. I have shared out a link in the chat box for you people. I have shared out a link with you in the chat box. I have shared out a link with you in the chat box. What you people are going to do is, you people are going to work with me on this. I have this link shared with you, everybody who is on the meeting. I want you all to comment. I want you all to comment. Shizra, I am pasting it again. I am pasting it again. I am pasting it again. Shizra, everybody, please check out the link. I am pasting it again. What you need to do is, you have to press on the link. You have to press on the link. You have to press on the link. So you have to press on the link, and now you have to go towards this site. Please be with me on the site and comment. If you can hear me, everyone, comment one question under each picture. Under each picture that you see of the story, you need to write down one question. It can be a why question, it can be a what question, it can be a who question, it can be a where question, it can be a how question, it can be a when question, it can be a why question, it can be anything. She went to the forest. Why did she go alone? Why she decided to walk far? What is the girl's name? Why she's in the woods alone? Where is she? Why is she here? Who went for a walk? Why her name was Goldilocks? Oh, who was Goldilocks? Why is she alone? Where is she going? Why she decided to go into the forest? Let's go on to this next picture. So, here you have, is she scared? Or why is she scared, Rima? So, someone you can say, was she scared? Was she really scared? Who is this girl? Why she's going in there? Is she scared? Where she found herself? Who do you think lives in the house? Okay, so she must keep, why is she walking? Why is she scared? So you have to make questions. You aren't going to give any answer. Who is in there? Would you like to try? Why is she trying the new porridge? Why did she have to try all the porridge? why she is not waiting for others, why the porridge was on the table, why is she tasting the porridge, why she goes in the house, is she all alone, is there anybody in the house, why she tasted it. Okay, next picture says why she have all the bowls, which bowl she's having, why she's tired, why does she's cooking 3 bowls of porridge. Okay, that's great. What she's tasting in the food, why she's trying it, why is she eating other person's food. Okay, next picture says why she's tired, which chair is big, why she's upset, is she having a toothache, is she tired, why she's upset. Wow, good questions, girls and boys, good questions. Okay, so next picture is when she felt down, when did she fall down, why is she feeling worried about the broken chair, how could she fell down, alone, why is she feeling all alone. Blushing Python says, why you were in place of Goldilocks, how would you handle this situation. Amra Shafiq, whoa, good question. From where she escaped. Thank you very much for all these interesting questions, and she likes the third bowl. So yeah, thank you very much everybody. Those questions were remarkable, but I'm going to tell you why I made you ask those questions. Keep your questions saved with you. Samreen, Ghulam Fareed, Aisha, Hanif, everybody on the chat box, everybody on the meeting in fact. I want you people to keep your questions saved with you. Take a snapshot of the picture and the question that you have commented. The question and the picture you people have commented under, could you please take a snapshot of that picture and keep it with you. Just keep it with you and let me tell you why you people, and let me have this activity going. So let me just take you towards why you people are actually supposed to do this activity with me. So everybody on this meeting, so Goldilocks are you people actually. Let's see why you people are Goldilocks, and let's move forward with what we are supposed to do next. So everybody of you are supposed to now take a snapshot. I'd like you all to take a snapshot of what you people have commented. I'd like you all to take a snapshot, and once you people taken the snapshot, you people are now with you. The questions under the pictures that you have commented, I want you people to take a snapshot, a cute picture of that, and keep it student learning objective depending on the grade level that you're teaching. What is that, and the subject of course that you're teaching. If you're an English teacher, a mathematics teacher, a science teacher, a social studies, an Islamiyat, what is that one student learning objective that you are going to come across? Concepts should be clear. Is that the objective? Critical thinking should be maintained. Oh yeah, so what is that one objective that you're going to create for your student? Problem retelling. The students should know how to answer the questions in their own words. Is it? Students will be able to, okay, Zabardast, I got your answer, thank you very much. They should be able to understand the story maybe. Okay, concepts should be clear. Oh, the student should be able to develop new vocabulary. Is that one objective you'd like to make for your students? चले हमने decide कर लिया. We have decided that you want your students to develop vocabulary. मैंने ये objective इसलिए उठाया है. I have formulated this objective because I want you, because this objective goes with every subject. It goes with science, it goes with mathematics, it goes with English, it goes with Urdu, it goes with Islamiyat. This objective goes with every subject, and the objective is enabling students to learn new vocabulary, new words. Enabling students to learn out new words is what we have. We have taken one objective. Student must develop vocabulary. ठीक है? Razia, Arjuman, absolutely correct. Mehri, absolutely. Kiran, absolutely. चलें, that's great. आपने आपने अपना लर्निंग ऑब्जेक्टिव बना लिया. You have created out your learning objective, everybody. Now the thing that comes to you is that is your learning objective that you have formulated for your students smart enough to go forward. आपने अपना जो learning objective बनाया, the learning objective that you created for your student, अभी जो आपने chat box में दिया, can you tell me, is it smart? Is it specific to one topic? Is it specific? आपने जो एक learning objective अपना बनाया, the learning objective that you have created in the chat box, can you all tell me, is it specific to one topic? Is it specific to one topic? The learning objective that you have created for your student, is it specific to one topic? Oops, not. That means you have to make a new learning objective then. फिर आपको अब नया learning objective बनाना पड़ेगा because your learning objective is not specific, which means it is not going to be smart. And if it is not smart, it is not going to be applicable. Simply. जब applicable ही नहीं होगा, how would your students learn in their subject? How would the students learn if your learning objective is not specific? So could you all let me know which specific learning objective would you like to draft for your students, everybody? Vocabulary? आपने एक topic से बनाना है. You have to make a learning objective from one topic of your subject. Steps are you going to take to achieve the learning objective? जो learning objective अभी आपने chat box में इजाद किया, invent किया, would you be able to achieve this learning objective through certain steps? आप कौन से steps लेंगी to achieve this learning objective of yours? Yes, girls and boys. Which? So what steps are you going to take? What steps are you going to take to successfully achieve if this learning objective that you have formed attainable or not? Would you be able to attain the learning objective that you have formulated in a given period of time? Let's say मैं आपको 2 हफ्ते का time देती हूँ to complete out one chapter or one topic. Would you be able to achieve the learning objective that you have created for your learners in that 2-week time period? Is it attainable? Would you see the results? Would you see the results in 2 weeks? Is it attainable? Yes, it is. Okay, so is it realistic and time bound? New vocabulary. Can you apply that learning objective in your life, as in the real life application? Can you apply it in your real life? Is it realistic? The learning objective that you have formulated for your students, is it applicable in real life? क्या वो असली जिंदगी में applicable है? Is it a yes or no? Yes. Okay. Is it time bound? Would you take exactly 2 weeks, or would you take more than 2 weeks or designated time? Would you take over the designated time, or would you be able to objectives within the given time? What would be your answer? Tareen, Maria, Kainat. Thank you, Nimra. Thank you, Habiba. Thank you, Nadia. Thank you, Sadia. Thank you, Fatima. Thank you, Anisa. Thank you, Jazeb. Thank you, Tayyiba. And thank you, Asma. Thank you, everybody. Let's move forward. अब देखिए यहाँ तक तो आपको समझ में आ गई कि what is a smart goal all about? What is a learning objective and how we actually create smart learning objectives. So it's all about, it's all about if it doesn't have bounds, whosoever commented no bounds, अगर उसकी कोई boundary नहीं है, कोई time bound नहीं है वो, that means it's not practical, it's not realistic. एक ऑब्जेक्टिव जो आपको कंप्लीट करवाने में पूरी ज़िंदगी लग जाए, पूरा साल लग जाए, हाउ वुड यू बी एबल टू कंप्लीट योर चैप्टर देन इफ़ योर ऑब्जेक्टिव इज़ नॉट टाइम बाउंड? ऑफ कोर्स आपने एक साल में देयर आर मल्टीपल चैप्टर्स दैट यू हैव टू कवर, सो इट्स नॉट ह्यूमनली पॉसिबल टू give out more than the designated time. So to be realistic, to be applicable, you have to have a time bound objective for your learners, जो कि एक टाइम के अंदर अंदर कंप्लीट हो जाएं, the designated time. Okay, so girls and boys, as we seek towards what I was talking about, you would have to tell me, have you heard this? Have you heard the saying, learn, unlearn and relearn? Have you all saying, learn, unlearn and relearn? Shabana says yes. Munazza says yes. Okay. Ramsha. Maria. Yes, have heard it. Yes, we have heard it. So yeah, that's a very common saying, learn, unlearn and relearn. And that's what we have brought to you as well, but with a different spice. So it's not like the same thing. It's not like the PCPT. It's not like the same kind of antediluvian ancient saying of learn, unlearn and relearn. It's not like the same thing. You're going to learn, unlearn and relearn through what you people already know. You already know what is Bloom's taxonomy, isn't it? आप लोगों को already पता है what is Bloom's taxonomy. You already know how to apply it in your teaching as well. But now you have to unlearn what you know about Bloom's taxonomy. You have to unlearn how you apply it to your teaching so that you can relearn it in a new way. So here, let's have it together. I have for you, do you see what's on your screen right now? क्या आप देख सकते हैं what's on your screen? What is it? क्या चीज़ है ये? What is it? So yeah, what is it? So you already know about what is Bloom's taxonomy, everybody. You already know what is Bloom's taxonomy, yes? And you already know how Bloom's taxonomy is being implemented in your teaching. You already know about everything around Bloom's taxonomy and how is it applied to your teaching. But do you know how do you relearn about Bloom's taxonomy? Because now you don't know anything about Bloom's taxonomy. So yes, these are 5W question flowchart. It's a 5W question flowchart which you're going to apply now on what I'm going to show you. So this is many of the teachers who know me and many of the teachers who have met me physically, face to face, would know and would know this picture too, because this is one of my very favorite pictures. So I'd like you all to tell me, give me one question from what on this picture. Can you all give me one what on this picture? इस picture के ऊपर पश्मीन, Ramsha, Fatima, Iffat, that's great. Iffat knows about the picture. So Wafa, yeah, what are they doing? What? You have to ask me questions from what on this picture. इस picture के ऊपर what से सवाल बनाएंगे आप लोग मेरे लिए. So you have to ask me questions around what on this picture. What is happening? What are they doing? What can you see in the picture? What is the girl reading? What is the barber doing? What is the name of the barber? What is the child doing? What is the lady doing while showing the anger? Okay, what is their work? What is the reason of keeping the bottle open? What are they doing? What is she cutting? Okay, what is happening? What are they doing? What is the woman reading? So Nida says, okay, what is the, okay, Wajiha, thank you very much, Ruqayya, Kainat, Salma, Jazib, Almira, Ramsha, okay, Faiza, Sajida, Zabardast. Okay, you people have all the questions from what means आप सबको जो है what से सवाल बनाने आ गए हैं on this picture, which means you know how to use what on this picture, right? अब हम लोग जो करेंगे that is something very different of what is the weather. Okay, that's a cute question. So I'm going to take you towards the purpose of showing you this picture basically. If you remember, अभी आपने मुझसे गोल्डीलॉक के ऊपर क्वेश्चंस बनाए थे. When I showed you the pictures of Goldilocks story along with the story sequence of each picture, the sequence story, the picture sequence that I showed you on Padlet. What is she making? What are they worried about? Superb questions. I couldn't have made such creative questions, to be very honest, on the picture. But you people are super creative. I'd like to ask you, Nida, we don't have to ask why, we just have to ask what. So here, like, what is Bloom's taxonomy again? Can you see the stages that you told me are on this slide hidden? आपके लिए जो मैंने stages आपने मुझे बताया भी, that these are the stages, these are the learning procedures, these are the learning stages, these are the cognitive stages, these are the steps towards learning and everything. अभी आपने मुझे ये सब कुछ बताया. And now I have this on the slide with you, in front of you. Now you people are going to discover and unlearn what you already know about Bloom's taxonomy. So you already know it's the learning stages, right? You already know that these are the cognitive stages, right? You already know Bloom's taxonomy के बारे में. आपने मुझे बताया. You told me about what is Bloom's taxonomy, which you already know. Whatever you know about Bloom's taxonomy, you told me about that, isn't it? आपने मुझे सब कुछ बताया, whatever you knew about Bloom's taxonomy. अब आपने मुझे ये बताना है that the story you read on Goldilocks, the story that you saw in the picture sequence on Goldilocks, how many of you were actually able to formulate questions that match to the questions on the slide? आपने जो सवालात बनाए थे, and I told you to take the snapshots of your pictures of the questions that you made of Bloom's taxonomy. Do that question. Those questions fall. What do you think your question falls in which domain? आपने अपना सवाल के साथ अपनी domain लगानी है. If your question falls in remembering, you have to comment remember along with your question. If your question falls in understanding, you have to comment understanding along with your question. If your question falls in applying, you have to comment your question along with that domain. If your question falls in analyzing, you have to comment your question along with the domain. If your question lies or falls in evaluating, you have to comment your question accordingly. If it falls in creating, you have to comment your question. मुझे आपके सवाल याद नहीं हैं. So you have to, just the way I have written on the slide, remember कि आगे colon, and जो सवाल आपने Goldilocks की story पे बनाया था, you have to put it down here with the domain that you have selected. Question was falling in which domain? That what would you do if you were here? Imagine. So imagine क्या होगा? किस domain में fall करेगा? Remember में, understanding में, applying में, analyzing में, evaluating में या creating में? What is your imagination falling in? Your imagination falls in which domain? Can you please specify? Creating. Why is she tasting all the bowls? Okay. Is it creating? Is it really creating? Why is she sleeping in someone's bed? Okay. Is it understanding? Creating. What is, okay. What would she do? What is the color of the Goldilocks? What is it? Is it remembering? Is it applying? Is it, why is she so scared? Is it remembering? Is it understanding? Is it applying? Is it analyzing? Is it evaluating? Or is it creating? What is it? Thinking. So what does thinking specify? Where does it come? Every domain that you see on the screen here is thinking. जितने भी domains आप अभी screen में देख रहे हैं, these all belongs to thinking. ये सारी की सारी thinking से ही relate करती हैं. So what? Can you just specify the domain, please? You're short on time. I'll take you forward and I'll be taking you towards what does it really mean. जब मैंने याद आपसे start में पूछा था, I asked you in the very start of this presentation, are you a source or a medium? And many of you commented both. And many of you commented we are a medium. And many of you commented that you people are a source. Now let me tell you, we aren't a source. We can never ever be a source. Everything that we do in today's time is because someone has done it in some time, in some place, somewhere before us. हमसे पहले हर काम हो चुका होता है. It's just that we are unlearning and we are relearning to do the things that have been done. So we are a medium, everybody. We aren't the source. हम source हो ही नहीं सकते. We can't be the source because source is just one, and that is the God. So we are the mediums. And how we are the mediums? Because Bloom's taxonomy हमने सिर्फ reinvent और reapply की on our teaching strategies. Bloom's taxonomy 1956 में कोई बंदा already इजाद कर चुका था. Somebody had already invented our Bloom's taxonomy in 1956, and we were here just to talk about it again and again with different perspective. So Bloom's taxonomy is all about how we bring about the applied strategies again to work, the applied domains back to work. So here you see that we have all these domains on your screen. We have all these domains on Bloom's taxonomy. But in 1956 these were already created. Who created it? Dr. Benjamin Bloom. तो इसने जब बंदे ने इजाद किया, so which man was the source, Bushra? I didn't get your question. अब वो बंदा भी जो है वो source नहीं है. Benjamin Bloom is not the source. Okay, you're talking about Benjamin Bloom. Let me just talk about what Bloom's taxonomy is all about, because otherwise we are going to get, we are going to get over time, and we are time bound, we are realistic. Benjamin Bloom के पास भी ये चीज़ें कहीं से आई. Of course, he is not just the source. Let me tell you, and we will go on this in detail sometime in future. हमारे पास ये जो Bloom's taxonomy है, that has different stages, as the people actually talked about. We had these different stages of Bloom's. We had these different stages of Bloom's taxonomy in 1956. But these all stages were in a certain naming word, were a certain name actually. हर stage का एक नाम था. Every stage had a name, and these names were similar to what we changed into. So these names were always coming in the same ways, but we were the ones who were paraphrasing and rephrasing and implementing it in according to our own needs and wants. Just like 21st century has its own needs and wants. Similarly, उस टाइम पे यानी कि 18th century and 20th century में 19th and 20th century में people had their own needs and wants and their own strategies of teaching, and that is why when it changed out, when in 21st century, in early 21st century and in early 20th, late 20th century, it changed out. It changed out to what things are applicable. That means it changed out to the doing words. That means it changed out to the actions. So more than just naming out any word, it's more what you do. So rather than naming, you start doing. So rather than just saying, you start doing. And that is what in 21st century we are all about. From naming to doing, we have shifted. From nouns to actions to verbs, we have shifted. So what happens is, as you at the very start talked about, you said these are all about thinking skills. हमारी जो 21st century की need है, the need of 21st century, it's all about that you start from the bottom and you start slowly and gradually moving from the bottom towards the top. So when you start off from the bottom, that means the sequence starts from the bottom. So when you talk about the lower and the higher order thinking skills that are in the same sequence, from the bottom to the top. So from the bottom to the top, you go out lower to higher order thinking skills. And as you seek that what are the different questions that I'm going to formulate in each and every domain, then you are a smart teacher, ladies and gentlemen. And here, as I talk about that what these lower order and higher order thinking skills are all about, I'm going to take a quiz of yours. And this quiz is going to turn the tables around. And from me speaking out everything but, you people are going to now comment onto what did you understand from all these domains of Bloom's taxonomy. New Oxford Primary Science, these pages are just for your, just to give you an example and just for your reference to go for whenever you go around knowing about Bloom's taxonomy, कि हम Oxford के लोग, we talk about Bloom's taxonomy, but where is it in your books? I mean, where is it in Oxford's books? So here it is. In New Oxford Primary Science, of course, in a 1-hour session, I can't give you all the references from each and every book, but I'm going to show you one reference.
सीखना चाहिए ज़्यादा ही अच्छा